Right now, literally at this exact second, your brain is under an absolute bombardment. I mean, millions upon millions of bits of sensory data are just flooding in from every possible direction. Think about it. The light bouncing off your screen right now, the quiet hum of your fridge, the feeling of your clothes resting against your skin, even the temperature of the air around you. It's a relentless, almost chaotic storm of raw physical information, and it's traveling up your nervous system at breakneck speeds. And honestly, if your conscious mind tried to process every single piece of this data all at once, no way, you'd be completely paralyzed. The whole system would just crash. So, how exactly does your brain route all of this insane traffic? Well, think of it as a really dynamic, beautifully complex puzzle. You've got this massive, unceasing influx of signals, right? And they all need to get to their correct, highly specific destinations in the brain just to keep you functioning, safe, and aware of what's going on around you. There absolutely has to be some sort of master traffic controller, a central biological hub that prevents total neurological gridlock. Okay, let's dive into this, because that is exactly what we're exploring in today's explainer. To make sense of this whole intricate system, here is our roadmap for today. Don't worry, we're going to break this down step by step. First, part 1, the mind's grand gateway. Then, part 2, mapping the connections. Part 3, core thalamic functions. And finally, part 4, beyond the gateway. All right, part 1, the mind's grand gateway. It's time to introduce the real hero of our neural story. We spend so much time talking about the outer layers of the brain, but the truth is, none of that higher level thinking is even possible without the thalamus. Sitting right there in the deepest, most protected central core of your brain, it completely earns the title Gateway of the Mind. Why? Because almost every single piece of sensory information that ever reaches your conscious awareness has to pass through this physical toll booth first. It is literally the gatekeeper to your reality. It holds the keys to what you ultimately experience. Moving right along to part 2, mapping the connections. Let's look at this biological information highway. Let's move 2 and see how this builds in real time. Now that we know what our gateway is, let's map out its actual wiring. So imagine you step outside into a really cold breeze. Step 1, the outside world triggers your peripheral nerve endings. Then that signal races up your spinal cord and docks directly at step 2, the thalamic gateway. And it's only then that the thalamus forwards that signal to step 3, the cerebral cortex, for your conscious realization. It's a perfectly sequenced little micro story. And the craziest part is it's all happening in mere milliseconds. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the clear distinction it makes. It's super easy to picture the brain as just this static network of biological wires, but we have to separate the physical neural wiring from the active processing. The connections we just talked about, those represent the actual microscopic cables running into the thalamus, but the functions represent active operations. See, the thalamus isn't just a passive piece of copper wire. It's a highly active, dynamic computational center. Which brings us perfectly to part 3, core thalamic functions. Let's look at those active operations in action. So, what does it actually do with all that incoming data? Well, the thalamus basically acts like Grand Central Station, directing these incredibly vital signals across 3 main roles. First up, sensory relay. It's actively sorting your incoming visual, auditory, and tactile signals and sending them directly to their correct processing platforms. Next, motor signaling. Those super complex movement instructions actually loop right through the thalamus to guarantee smooth, coordinated action. And finally, consciousness. By regulating this massive flow of heavy information, it plays an absolutely huge role in maintaining your wakefulness and your overall situational awareness. So the crucial point is that the thalamus is an active manager deciding what you experience. It filters, it prioritizes, and it processes. Imagine you're sitting in a really crowded, noisy coffee shop, and you're just trying to read a book. Your ears are still physically receiving all that raw audio data from the background chatter, right? But your thalamus acts as this intelligent filter. It prioritizes the visual information from the page in front of you and actively dampens the auditory noise of the cafe so you can actually focus. It's literally making constant executive decisions on your behalf. And that leads us to our final section, part 4, Beyond the Gateway, how this all ties into your everyday life. Let's zoom back out for a second and look at the core of our source material here. Gateway of the mind, thalamic connections and functions.
And this brilliantly illustrates how microscopic physical anatomy builds your macroscopic, big picture conscious experience. I mean, every beautiful sunset, every favorite song, every moment of deep, unbreakable focus, they're all only possible because these physical connections and operational functions are working together in perfect harmony. The thalamus takes our chaotic reality and shapes it into a coherent, livable experience.
Which leaves us with this final, truly fascinating thought. If the thalamus is acting as the ultimate bouncer to your consciousness, filtering out what it deems unimportant and prioritizing only what it thinks you need to know, who is really in control of your reality? Are you experiencing the objective world exactly as it truly is, or are you only ever experiencing the highly curated version that your thalamic gateway permits you to see? Take that with you today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you in the next explainer.